Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I am Amabel.
and welcome back to Godzilla Voxel Wars, where a new friend awaits. I know you're very excited about this one in particular.
Oh, I have such feelings about Mothra. Yes.
We're getting there. We're going to get there. I believe you had something else you wanted to talk about at the end of the last episode.
Oh yeah, I did.
And I was too hungry for fast food to allow you to get to it. So please.
Well, I was gonna just briefly, for your benefit, outline how how Godzilla went from terror lizard to, hero friend. Because it came up. It came up in the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I was gonna mention it. Right. So he's obviously just force of nature destruction kind of metaphor thing in the first film, which is Godzilla. Now in Godzilla Raids Again, there's him and Anguirus, but neither of them are the good guy. They're both are just two terrible monsters that are fighting each other and also fighting the city of Tokyo and causing destruction. The next film is probably the first one to get kind of silly, and that was the King Kong one, Godzilla versus Kong, or versus King Kong, or King Kong versus Godzilla. I forget which order it's in. And that film is really interesting, I think, because first of all, it's them doing a King Kong film, but they're doing King Kong as a suit.
Yeah.
But secondly, the plot of that is that an advertising company, a pharmaceutical company, has abducted King Kong to be their mascot. So it's like a criticism of, a satire and criticism of capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
And Godzilla is like the villain there. King Kong is clearly more the hero, and he gets lightning powers. And that's something I find really interesting, because if you look at the Godzilla vs. Kong film that came out a couple years ago, you have a corporation trying to exploit King Kong, which is a very classic King Kong beat.
Yeah.
And you have him using a club? There's some kind of electric... There is something he's using to hit Godzilla in the face with.
Yeah, it's an amazing weapon, yeah.
A
+1 club of Godzilla slaying.
I just find that interesting. Now, there's an urban legend
it was sort of a sword or something, wasn't it? It's been a minute since I saw the movie.
Yeah, it was like an axe, but yeah. I don't know, but yeah. And what's interesting about King Kong versus Godzilla is that it's often there's a urban legend that in the American version of the film, King Kong wins, and in the Japanese version, Godzilla wins. But
I have heard that. Yeah,
King Kong just wins. I've seen both versions of the film. It was very hard to see the Japanese version for a while because it wasn't allowed to be distributed over here because of the distribution rights being tied up by United Artists, whoever released it over here.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the Criterion Collection DVD release with the films on it had to have the Japanese version as a special feature that they couldn't really announce. Because they couldn't say that they had the film, they just happened to have it as a special feature on the disc.
Yeah, I'm gonna interrupt you here.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to solve this puzzle.
Okay.
I'm looking at this and there's a part of me that really wants to let the Stagger Shroom just do his thing, because it'll destroy this nest and it'll block this spawn, right?
Yeah.
But first of all, that would be 4 damage to Godzilla, which is unconscionable.
Yeah.
And we can't really block the spawn super easily otherwise. This building has 3 HP. That's very problematic. We have to deal with this Fungiris. And presumably we do want to block this spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we can use this Fungarus to block that spawn, maybe, but that leaves that building in better shape than I would like it to be in.
Yeah.
Because if we don't if we move Godzilla to do something else, we can't just blow the Stag Shroom into this thing because he'll die. He won't be around to block the spawn. And I think we do want to block this. This is one of those cleared by turn 2 things. Like, we don't have a tremendous amount of room for slop here. We really have to get this right pretty tightly. And it is not clear to me how we...
Okay, actually, no. Okay, here's what we do.
Okay.
So move Godzilla... Where are we moving Godzilla?
Solid plan.
So Godzilla... Here, let me take you through the steps, and then you can figure out how exactly it works. Godzilla needs to use his breath on the green and red parts of that building. Does 2 damage, and
we're gonna have to
green and red dots.
That's the only way we're gonna get enough damage on it for sure.
Then Rodan needs to blow the stag thing over into the building. That'll give you the stuff to spawn a Mechagodzilla. That Ghidra.
Yeah.
Ghidra.
Yeah.
Never mind. My whole plan was contingent on that being Mechagodzilla.
Okay.
I have a smaller screen than you do, so.
Well, whose fault is that?
I mean, I have a small laptop.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Because like we can do it's so easy to do like some version of this thing, right? But it doesn't leave us with I'm very concerned about the number of enemies that are still alive and the spawns and.
Okay, well, let's see how this plays out.
Okay, the way this plays out is we have 4 enemies to kill and a spawn to block and 7 buildings to destroy. All right,
but
so it'd be Rodan's got to come over here and do this because we have to be able to spawn. Once we clear this nest, we have to be able to spawn the King Ghidorah here so that he can actually finish off those 3 buildings. The only way this works is this thing. And then that's a huge amount of the work not done.
Yeah, hang on.
We're definitely nowhere near this. That's definitely not even close to the right first turn. I mean, It feels to me like we have to... I don't know. It feels to me like we'd have to spawn the Ghidorah this turn in order to be able to just have the raw damage output. There's so much stuff that has to happen. But that absolutely cannot occur, right?
Yeah.
If we have Rodan run over here and blow this guy that way, we can block one of the spawns with him.
Yeah.
But that doesn't accomplish any of our other goals. I am really unsure on this one. So the Godzilla needs to be 1 square further up. So we have to be able to get to here. But also if the Godzilla doesn't destroy... If the Godzilla doesn't do 2 points of damage to this nest this turn, I can't see how we could possibly win.
Okay.
So I think that's got to be part of it.
All right, let's do that.
Well, let's do that is not... Hold on. There are 4 different versions of that.
Let's move Godzilla... Okay.
It does feel like... So if we put him here and attack the building from this side, we could have Rodan run up and blow him into that, blocking this spawn and giving us the resources necessary to spawn the Ghidorah. But this building is dead.
This building is dead, yeah. Because Ghidra's thing is just the 3
It's
squares.
just the 3 tiles directly in front of him, yeah.
Yeah.
If we would have to spawn Ghidorah here in order for him to be able to deal damage to this Fungarus without doing any damage to any buildings or anything. So my
No.
plan could be... I'm going to take a hint. I'm really,
Okay.
really unsure. Okay, so from that side... Ah, that makes sense. That guy breaks the thing. But yeah, it does still leave the Ghidorah spawn until turn 2. I'm surprised that you're able to marshal the amount of damage you need.
We don't need that. So we know Ghidorah needs to spawn where the Rodan is.
It sure seems like it.
Yeah. So do that first.
Yeah, I guess so. Right, because like, how else are we going to get rid of all of the buildings? And then something has to get slammed into this nest to finish it off.
But no, then we can't do those 2 buildings, can we?
So if we have Rodan move this guy over, that takes care of the spawn, and this guy, and this guy, and that building. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you know what part of the problem is here? This is representing the damage in a way that I find a little bit frustrating. So it's showing 2 damage on the hit, and I'm reading that as 2 damage from the attack, but it's already folding in the 1 point of damage from the collision.
So if Godzilla just
doesn't move,
building,
yeah.
The enemies will take care of the rest for us.
Yeah, see, that's interesting because almost everything in the game has been, like almost every UI decision and everything has been exactly the way it is in Into the Breach, but this one is not. And so at this point, I'm very much expecting it to show us things the way they are in Into the Breach, and that got me tripped up there a little bit.
Okay. Godzilla remains villainous in Godzilla vs. Mothra. It's when King Ghidorah shows up, when Godzilla starts to be more heroic. Mm-hmm. And that's at the point where there is a scene in one of the 3 films with King Ghidorah in it where Mothra talks to Godzilla and Rodan to convince them to stop being selfish and go take care of King Ghidorah.
Okay, when you say talks to,
there is a conversation, and the monsters appear to be having like a little conference. There's no dialogue, but there are people watching it describing what they think is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember there being dialogue anyway. That one has been a while since I've seen. That's when you get more monsters, more kind of goofy, wrestling move kind of things, which the director of most of those Godzilla films was not super thrilled about, because the first Godzilla film that he was the director of was a very serious film.
Yeah.
The last film he directed ended up being Terror of Mechagodzilla, the last of the Showa Godzilla films, and after that, he went to work as a assistant director exclusively for Akira Kurosawa, who he was quite friendly with, and Kurosawa actually admired him very much and his work very much. He also directed a number of like non-giant monster movies, and because of the way Japanese movies and the creative staff names were translated when they came over here,
mm-hmm.
I remember reading about a story about some American critic who unfavorably compared one of the Godzilla films to this other director's work, and it's the same man. It's the same person. Just someone being snobby about it because it's a genre film. Thank you for coming to my second TED Talk.
So I don't think this puzzle is solvable the way I ended the second turn. Like, I think we really got to get this Ghidra over here on turn 3 so that we can spawn the other Ghidra. But you can't do it from this position. This is too far away. So, like, we can stop here and have him breathe this way 4 blocks. But, well, I was going to say that means we get one less bit of coverage. But I guess actually we can have Godzilla cover this spawn that way. And then that leaves Godzilla in position to kill the Fungiris that comes out here. I think this is a better ending to the second turn. Pretty sure that's going to be right. And over here, we have to do this from this position so that we don't cook that building. And then... Nope. Right. Somebody has to stand on the investigation report. So how do we set this up? I mean, maybe I just don't block all the spawns? It feels pretty wrong. But like, okay, so we can have Ghidorah block one of these two. This one is too far away from spawning the other Ghidorah. I don't know that it matters. These are both fungal bees. Bees are pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah.
All right, let's try something like this. And we'll have Godzilla... Nope. Hold on. That's not what I'm trying to do. You move... just to here. We'll still take this kill. And then Godzilla moves to a position where he does not, in fact, kill anybody. Do I want to move this block? I have no idea what effect that's going to have on enemy targeting, so pretty much guesswork. So if we let 3 enemies spawn, how bad is that for our overall ability to win? Like, the thing is, we still have to have somebody grab this investigation report. And the only way to do that, like, this is not...
yeah.
Well, like, I don't know that it is. Because if we do this, what are we actually gaining?
We're gaining the placement of a Ghidra, but...
Right,
yeah.
but what does it do for us? All right, let me take this back to the start. So, the play where we have the stag shroom blow up the gas tank feels pretty right. And there's only one way to effectuate that with the map and our starting position shaped the way it is, right? This, he has to get pushed over here.
Yeah.
And then he has to get pushed up here. Doing that causes him to blow up that thing. That's the only way to get him to blow up that thing. But the more I look at this, the more I wonder if maybe that is not, in fact, the solution, because I don't see a solution from this position that works.
Yeah.
The problem is the damn investigation report. If both of our monsters are all the way back here at the beginning of turn 2, it is so much movement just to get to the investigation report. And in fact, even moving at full speed both turns, Godzilla can't get there. Well, okay. I have just had a thought.
Okay.
Something I did not realize before. Okay, so if we have... How do I do this? I think we want Godzilla here.
Okay.
But this doesn't make any sense. How much movement does Ghidorah have? 4. So Ghidorah has to be... I'm trying to figure out a way to kill this stag shroom without damaging the building. If Godzilla is here, then we can move Godzilla to here, in theory, on the next round, spawn a Ghidorah there, and do the Ghidorah attack up and to the right, pushing Godzilla onto the investigation report at the same time as it kills this thing by pushing it into the lava and kills this thing because it only has 1 HP. However, in order for that to be the case, in order for that to work, like Godzilla has to go here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think King Ghidorah would have to go here because this is the only space from which he can kill this guy without pushing him into the building. But now he can't. Now we can't make the spawn work. He's one space too far away from these buildings to knock them over. Right, yeah, I can get him to here, but that destroys this building, the attack. He needs to attack from this space. And we can totally get, like, we can get everything except the buildings done by putting Godzilla here and having Ghidorah attack, like I said. But those buildings do have to die, actually.
Yeah.
I don't suppose this building is just like really weakly moored on its foundations and will actually push. Nope. Okay, because if it did, that would solve all of our problems. Yeah, we need this space available. I must be doing the first turn wrong.
Okay, let's go after the first turn.
There's got to be a different version of this that ends up with the monsters in different places. We could... Boy, it really doesn't seem like there's any other solution here. So if I push this guy up and to the right with Ghidorah, the only thing we can do is move the container from the top left with Godzilla, which means that when the stag shroom hits it, he just hits it into Godzilla's face.
Yeah.
This is definitely not a situation where we want to try to set up a Godzilla as projectile play, because the gas tank will just absolutely ruin him. I gotta say, these have gotten pleasantly difficult, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it really feels like they need to just be further up and to the right at the end of the first turn, right? Having them both all the way back here in this corner creates some real problems. Maybe there's another way to set this guy up for... Let me try something here. Maybe this is one of those things where we're just like, we're not looking into the future correctly because we don't have the information we don't have.
Okay.
Because if I can take a second to set this down here... Well, now, Ghidorah, I can't get on the other side of him. I was going to say, like, then a push from this side on a future turn would allow him to still blow the thing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that extremely doesn't work. All right, I'm doing it again. In the interest of getting to the place we're trying to get to.
Yeah. Because to be clear, this is a special treat for me. It's supposed to be between the Thief series we're doing.
I hate that. I hate that that's right. Like, of course it's right, but also
Yeah.
it can't. But it can't be. But also it can't be. What am I missing? What am I missing?
Wait, can you, so you can move, no, never mind.
So right there's this thing. We tried this thing.
Yeah.
And the problem here is still that, you have no ability to move Godzilla. Here's a thing I think is, I guess, worth testing. Does hitting the investigation report with a container collect it? It looks like the answer is yes.
That's information we could have had before. They could have told us before. This is not the time for us to learn this.
Yeah, that's a little rough because the investigation reports do have 1 HP, and we have been told that they can be destroyed. So I think the natural assumption to make is that if you boot a container into the thing, you're going to ruin it, not that somehow the container will collect it for you, because the container is a unit that is on your side. If I had realized that was the way that worked, we would have solved this a lot faster, but that's a little bit ridiculous. All right, Volume 4. Something terrible has happened. The recent outbreak of monster mushrooms are obviously the fungoids mentioned in the confidential materials. Maybe their spores got attached to some part of the research ship. I don't want to entertain the idea, but I can't ignore the possibility that the expedition brought them back on purpose. Ominous music sting.
I missed it. Where was the ominous music sting?
Well, no, that's where you would have put it. I was telling the sound editor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's a Mothra egg.
All right, that's a lot of excitement. Okay, Mothra egg will hatch in one turn, becoming Mothra larva. Well, then we'd better defend it. Godzilla, hurl yourself in front of this attack. And then do this to just sort of intimidate the enemy. Okay. Well, sure seems like we are intended to shoot this square, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then Godzilla, just come over here and add a little bit of spice. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated about that investigation report thing. I feel like that's maybe like the first thing that's been really badly signaled in that way. All right, so we have the Mothra eggs. I wonder if we're going to be able to spawn the Mothra eggs. I have to imagine they'd be quite cheap in terms of G energy, given that you have to wait.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, okay, just a single green. That is going to give us a lot of options, which is dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. All right, well, you know what we must do here. The classic.
Yay!
Okay, then we have this egg. Where am I going to want to spawn this egg? I mean, we're going to want to shoot here at some point to knock this container into that, I think. So, there maybe?
Okay.
I don't exactly know. Like, what does Rodan's movement look like? Okay, he cannot move past the mountains or the buildings or anything at all. So let's drop this. Interestingly, he can't move past the shipping containers either, which he would be able to if they were actually units. So if we have Rodan move somewhere such that we can spawn a Mothra spawn here, I can container block that. It is just a Fungyrus coming up though. Like we could also just Godzilla the thing, I think. I'm actually kind of curious. I'm just gonna blow on this and end the turn. I want to see what the situation looks like, because spawning monsters that we don't have to spawn does cause us to lose points. Oh yeah, it's like trivially completable from here.
Well, yeah, but in order to... Okay.
Oh, it was last turn. I had to block these spawns. Well, that's actually trivially not completable. That's a real problem. We can't do that. How are we going to block that one? I would need Rodan to be over here. We could spawn Mothra.
Oh, okay. Go back to the part before you spawn the Mothra egg.
Okay.
Spawn the Mothra egg on the other side of Rodan.
Below him? Ah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yep. Don't knock the container into the building. Hit the building, and yep. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're good where you are. Just shoot here. I'm so used to wanting to like push the thing into the other thing. And then this allows us to spawn larva here. Oh. Spawn larva here. There we go. Thank you for the little sanity check there.
We did it.
We did not did it.
Wait, what?
It doesn't work. Hold on.
How does it work? Wait.
We had to have one more G power left. But we didn't have time to spawn another egg. So this part's going to be like completely non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that happened, we're a single point off, and that single point is we spent too much G power.
Okay.
However, what am I missing here? This doesn't seem... I could spawn the egg up here. I don't know that it makes a big difference. Right? Like we have to shoot this thing, but I could do it from the column that it's in or from the row that it's in. Either way works. Yeah, how are we going to spawn just an egg next turn? Oh, okay. I have a thought.
Okay.
So you spawn. This part still happens. We still have to have Rodan come over here and shut this down. Godzilla still goes against the G power. But yeah, now we don't have to spawn a guy to move this container because we could just spawn
we
the egg
just
on
spawned
the
an egg.
yeah. Just have the egg do the block and not worry about what might come out of it later.
That's very clever, sweetheart.
There it is. Okay. So you might have noticed we're kind of rushing forward here. We have some strong feelings about seeing Mothra in action, the real Mothra.
Mm-hmm.
Full size Mothra.
Oh, I have such Mothra. Mothra is such a...
That is so many little buildings. Okay. Well...
I do have a question, because you play a lot of
Yes.
puzzle games.
Okay.
Where you have, like a map with a bunch of puzzles to solve.
Mhm.
How often is it that you have to complete them in order to progress? Like this, because we 3-starred a lot of things. I just want to see Mothra, right? But,
Sure.
And there are games where we could just unlock that, right?
I'm curious about something here real quick. I don't actually know how much damage one of these things does when it explodes. Does it automatically kill Godzilla? It doesn't.
There is a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, but I think it's unquestionably correct.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Because now this thing's gonna hit that bee, block this spawn with the bee's body. They're both dead. Like, it's kind of incredibly huge. So let's see here. We're going to want to spawn a Ghidorah next turn.
Okay.
Right here to kill this building and that building and hit this guy into that building. So I should probably spawn a Mothra egg now so that we have a Mothra to work with. And I don't know that it matters. A Mothra larva. And I don't know that it matters particularly where we do that.
Well, that Mothra has to be able to get us to green.
Yeah, and it will be. I could spawn another one. No, I don't think I can because I'm like, there's a green and a yellow here. But if we spend the yellow right now as a green, we won't. I think we need one. We need to be able to collect this guy off of a single pickup next turn.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see. Actually, maybe I don't end up needing the Mothra at all. Also, this guy moved instead of just standing in position where he spawned. That's not helpful to me. I need him not to do that, which means we need this egg to be here, actually. The egg is a blocker. Okay, so... if we shove this gas tank, it's not going to deal with this guy in time. Oh, no, but we wouldn't. It was what we would do is move here, shoot that. No, I think Godzilla's got to deal with him. He's got to take 2 damage while he's getting pressed. So what are you doing? You're doing something to do with these 2 nerds. The problem is I have to move him now, so I have to figure out what exactly it is that he's doing right now. Because we move him, we use yellow, yellow, red to spawn King Ghidorah. We obliterate all of this stuff and end up with red, green left over, allowing us to do nothing. Maybe I need to not spawn the egg?
Yeah.
But no, like, this has to happen. And this leaves
Yeah.
Godzilla in a position where this spawn steps out of out of line. Steps to a spot that we cannot accept him being in. I guess I can just spawn the Ghidorah now. Yeah. That's what it is. Spawn the Ghidorah now, and I guess it doesn't really matter that I'm making the attack early. It feels weird to have to attack again in this situation afterward.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be right. Let's see here. So Ghidorah has the move necessary to get up here, crush these two against the mountains. Maybe I just egg spawn to block here?
Okay. I mean, it costs the egg, but it will...
It prevents me from spawning another Ghidorah, is what it does.
Yeah.
It leaves this building alive, too. That's the other problem with that. This building doesn't die. I'm going to try something.
Okay.
Because I don't think we need a second Ghidorah. But we are going to need 1 point of additional damage. I think, if I've calculated this correctly. So spawning in one little dude here gives us the leaves us with the most possible G power. Right, because this clears all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Ghidorah moves up here and does this good work. And then all we need is for Mothra to push that guy into the remaining building. And I think that's a solution that leaves us with 3 points of G power for scoring purposes. Yeah, they want to try to bait you into spending enough to summon the second Ghidorah, but it's definitely not necessary. Nests and G power is a weird name for, like, that's the thing we've been doing this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it's a bit of a problem. How on earth are we going to deal with that? I can obviously pop this gas tank. Oh, these eggs are friendly units. So I can spawn my Ghidorahs off of them. That's what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to do this thing again. Oh, it doesn't destroy the green part of the building. Oh no. Never mind, that doesn't work. Yeah, I had to hit it from here so that the gas tank does a point of collision damage with the building. And then it actually doesn't matter that I can spawn stuff off the Mothra eggs because we spawn this adjacent to Godzilla anyway. I think this is gonna operate in the correct order. This guy is further north than the mushroom is. Okay. We do have a fair number of issues here. We also have Mothra.
I mean, I think one of those Mothras can go over, pick up the investigation report, and hit the gas tank.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we kill this guy. So if I just push him in front of the fungal bee is gonna bounce him off the building, which is problematic. I mean, this is pretty much got to be right. We need the G power. We need those nests cleared. This is the only way to do it. How do I... I guess if we have Godzilla run over here and hit him from this side, and then we spawn... I would have to spawn the Ghidorah in the position the Mothra's in right now in order to hit them both.
Okay, well, what the Mothra does in the investigation report, they still can fire... They still have range to fire on those buildings?
Yeah, and then we spawn the Ghidorah on... Oops. We spawn the Ghidorah on the location where the investigation report is. So that's how we get it. That should work just fine. Apologies for hitting back one too many times here. I wish there was also a forward button. Sometimes I need to unbaculate. All right. Yeah, that's a sneaky little one. Okay, so what are we doing down here? We have a Mothra and a Ghidorah to deal with this area. How do I... How do I get 2 damage on you? I think it's like the real primary question.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy enough to have the Mothra shoot the nest and push this guy over here, and then have the Ghidorah come down and, you know, push this way, causing the Stag Shroom to kill the Fungiris and everything. But, like, that does not solve my problems. All right. Well, I think... Oh, wait, sorry. Let me push this guy first.
Okay.
I think this seems right.
Yeah. So wait, if you use the Mothra to bomb the bad building and push the thing, then can't you move the King Ghidorah to the space the Fungal Bee's on presently?
Yeah.
And wouldn't that take them all out?
No. The Fungal Bee has 2 health.
Oh, and
it only takes 1 damage over the course of that process.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it's more like... Out of curiosity, if I shoot here, the bee does not take damage from contact with the edge of the map. Okay.
But, if you do that, can Ghidorah move to the space below the
Oh,
Fungal
you're
Bee?
right. You're right. Wait. Hold on. 4 movement. Yeah, this will work.
Okay.
Yeah, you're totally right. No, don't move there. Shoot there. Stop moving. Stop trying to move. There we go. This interface has little tiny quibbles. Little tiny quibbles. Yeah, you're right. This totally works.
Gravity beam.
It's just not. It just isn't that though. You know, far be it from me to tell a monster that size what is and isn't going on in his life, but I've discovered there are different types of G power, and the type generated depends on the color of the nest that's destroyed. That's not a whole. That's not a whole file. That's a single set. Okay. What would colors of energy even mean in a, diegetic sense? That's just gibberish. Okay. So, we have some artillery to play with here. It feels to me like Godzilla wants to open this angle up for Ghidorah.
Okay.
Come in here and munch all of these.
Nom nom.
That's the sound of a gravity beam firing.
Yep.
Okay, now that we have our Mothras, pretty sure Godzilla's got to come over here and burn this down. But then we need a Ghidorah there to kill these buildings off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. So it's going to be Godzilla burns this down. We get a bunch of G power. We spawn an egg here and then a Ghidorah off the egg. That's the only way this makes any sense. All right, so you're going to have to shoot this. You are going to have to shoot this. This clears all of that stuff, leaving us with exactly enough G-Power to do the thing I just said. Egg into King Ghidorah. It turns out the levels are easier when there aren't any enemies to deal with. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Also, they should have called this level just add egg. I just add eggs. We only added one egg. There were pre-existing eggs.
Okay. All right, sweetie. All right, so how cool does the backside of this one look? It looks fine. I do think that this monster is neat looking.
Yeah.
The thing in the mountains.
Oh, that's really good because when Mothra was released, the film Mothra was when Godzilla vs. Mothra was released over here, they called it Godzilla vs. The Thing.
Okay.
So that's a nice.
So 2 square knockback and deals 1 damage. All right, how are we going to generate what we need to generate here? We have until turn 3 to clear all the necessary buildings. I think we want to do that. Yep, next turn we want to make sure that we get this done. And then we want to spawn you in like here probably. Well, I'm not going to be able to kill Mothra. Mothra's imago form. Right, if I spawn Mechagodzilla here, we can shoot one of these buildings and destroy the other one with the backslide. But I don't actually want to do that. Sorry. I want to do this because we have to kill these 2 buildings first. And that prevents Godzilla from moving backwards, so Godzilla has range to clear the parasitized Mothra. Yep, that makes sense. Don't worry, I'll save you. That's what saving looks like.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Mechagodzilla just tears itself to pieces. Seems to be the only thing it's capable of. What a design. That is a very good Voxel Mothra.
That is a very good Voxel Mothra. The Miracle of Mothra. This is a good name for a level. I love a Mothra so much. I love a Mothra as like a. First of all, it's the first one of the giant monsters that's a girl. That's very nice. Okay, hang on.
Oh, generates winds that turn targets invulnerable and knock them back 2 squares. The winds will travel till they reach their target, and targets turned invulnerable will take no damage that turn. Interesting.
That makes a lot of sense because Mothra is very much a protector.
Yeah.
But Mothra means a lot to me. Like, I don't know what it is that connects to a trans girl about this grubby little thing that just emits too much fluid and then becomes this beautiful goddess.
Is this going to prevent... The Fungal Beast attack does knockback, right?
Yes.
This is a problem. The Fungal Bee thing is a problem. Hold on. Did I do these in the wrong order? Well, no. Anguirus has to come across first. Because otherwise Godzilla's in the way. Yeah. No, this is right. I'm just thinking, like, I kind of want the Anguirus there to block the spawn, right? If we were to spawn the Mothra and do this thing, first of all, it only pushes back 2 squares. So that's not even functional. And secondly, I think even if we did get it up there, the Anguirus taking no damage doesn't matter because the Anguirus gets pushed into the building. How am I to stop you from doing the thing you are intent on doing? Pushing the Godzilla around isn't... Remarkably, I'm pretty sure pushing the Godzilla around is not going to help us. We kind of can't spawn... Can I protect the building? Okay.
Okay.
The power demonstration did not make it clear that that would happen, but yeah, that's definitely the move then.
Well, this is the miracle of Mothra.
This is the miracle of Mothra. Fair enough. Hard to argue with. Alright, so now I push you, and then that means your 1 space of movement is sufficient to cause all of these problems to go away. And maybe you even survive for a change. The true miracle of Mothra is that a Mothra can cause an Anguirus to survive the stage. Something we've never seen before.
Anguirus has ever done.
Yeah. Alright, adorable Mothra is available in build mode. And it seemed so gentle. Okay. So there's definitely going to be some pushing things into the lava shenanigans here, right? It's got to be. How do I want to do this? If we have Godzilla move one of these crates, then I can have Mothra eventually push the other container. Oh no, it's gonna have to be this container, right? Because the thing only moves 2 spaces when Mothra pushes it.
Yeah.
So I mean, this turn the Mothra is just cloaking the building. Is that right? It doesn't leave us a lot of room for it to get out for the next couple of levels. And like, what are we doing with Godzilla? This is a strange level. I think we need Mothra out here to get Godzilla across.
Okay.
I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So maybe I am doing this, and we're not trying to have this container get over here at all. I'm trying to make it so this container can be placed... Well, not on top of the spawn, because that thing's going to spawn. But I could use the container to crush that enemy anyway. So let's try something like this.
Okay.
Do not like this very much. No, this is definitely not a viable position, right?
Okay.
Well, no, this is definitely not a viable position. Okay. If we come all the way down here, I can move Godzilla across right now. And I guess the idea is we have to get Godzilla over here to get the... It means I'm not in position to manipulate these spawns, which makes me really nervous, but we have to get the other...
The other
G
Mothra.
power. Yeah, we have to get the other the Mothra going. So, if we do this... All you can do is that, and that's got to be the move, because it's all you can do. And then what?
Hmm. If an invulnerable target hits the lava, they still die, right?
Probably. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
How do we deal with this guy without? Well, I guess the answer is I just protect the building. I gotta remember, sometimes it's not about murder. This is the beautiful lesson that Mothra can teach us all. There's that thing about metamorphosis, and then the thing about sometimes there are other solutions to problems. So I need to block a spawn. I need to do this.
You block 2 spawns, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then this container now is a lethal weapon. Is there anything we can't learn from Mothra?
You know, I think Mothra has... I mean, Mothra is basically... She's a queen. She's kind of a monarch, so, like... I don't think we can learn, like... how to solve problems in our world and how to throw off the shackles of imperialism and monarchy from Mothra.
Economic and political problems, not really
her. No.
That's fair. A dung shroom can pass over obstacles such as mountains to attack. The attack will only deal damage to the unit on the center square while everything else is knocked back. Okay. So they have their own artillery now.
Why?
So the way this thing is firing the artillery currently, it's going to kill itself. Well, it's going to do 1 damage to itself. So that's cool. That's somewhat useful. This thing is going to shoot directly onto that building, which is problematic. Obviously, though, we're going to blow up this gas tank, which is going to solve a lot of our problems. I mean, is it as simple as Godzilla blows up the gas tank?
I think so, because then he'll be knocked back into that spawn space, won't he?
Yeah. It'll deal 3 damage to him in total, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, and that'll block spawns. It will block the fungal bee from attacking.
Yeah, it does a tremendous amount of very good work. And then this Mothra basically just needs to, first of all, not stand in a spot to take damage from this guy, and secondly, just push the container into him once so he kills himself with his attack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, he was going to kill him. He was going to die anyway because of I didn't realize this thing's attack pushing the crate into him. So we didn't really need to do anything with Mothra that turn, I don't think. Oh, no, we totally did. I gotta make Godzilla invincible.
Oh, okay.
Because Godzilla's gonna have to spawn block on the next turn, and if he's taken 3 damage, that is a campaign losing problem. So we can use his attack here. I'm trying to figure out, like, where do I position him for that? I don't know that it matters. Yeah, I think this clears most things. This guy throws that over, hits himself with the crate. The fungal bee moves forward to attack that building, which Mothra can deal with. And now that Godzilla isn't at 1 HP, this is available to us. Mothra seems extremely powerful, which is the thing I keep saying about the new units that we are given, but it just keeps being true. I think they've done a good job here designing the monsters in such a way that they all feel mechanically very distinct, and they all feel true enough to sort of their canonical appearance and stuff.
Yeah, and it's these monsters each have like a wide variety of powers, but they chose one, so it has one simple mechanical purpose, and I think that works really well.
Yeah, I agree. So you wanted to before the end of the series here, you wanted to take a quick look at the build mode. I think we can just do that now because I think this is going to be the last episode of this one, at least for the moment. We had intended to take this on as like a short thing to break up the Thief series, and we've already gotten more puzzle out of it than I was really expecting. This is my fault. I didn't do my research. When this is a game that was made by Toho hit my inbox, like a cute little puzzle game, I was like, okay, so it's, they're doing new Godzilla movies all the time. This is some weird like tie-in stuff. I kind of wasn't expecting it to be as real and good of a video game as it is. But whoever it is they contracted it to, or what, their internal team or whatever, like this is a lot of good puzzle game. I'm actually really, really impressed with it. So as far as, serving as like a brief breather, I think it's done its job, a brief breather between the Thief games. But if you would like to see us come back to this after Thief and potentially finish it, or at least play more, please let us know in the comments, or subreddit, etc. There's links on the main YouTube page. There are places where you can register your feelings about this thing.
I like to register my feelings about it.
No, I know your feelings, sweetie. They will be taken into account. Okay, so we're going to just close this episode and this foray into Godzilla Voxel Wars, which it turns out is absolutely fucking rad, by having a quick look at the building tool, which I'm assuming is going to be okay. Well, I mean, if we're being honest, this is all for Amabel. Okay, build a new stage. So yeah, there are some pretty simple, like there's a very small amount of space to work with here. I do not feel like I need this level of tutorial. Okay, then use trial to see how it works.
Okay, this
fine. Here, this is.
See, I would just name it Amabel and have an increased number of L's for everything I needed to.
8 points if cleared by turn 8. How will we ever manage? Okay, you can always adjust object placements. Yeah, I would like to get out of tutorial mode. All right. When you grab an object and move it off the stage, the background will change to the trash can. That's very cute. That's a cute way to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, as you continue performing these actions, your stage will start coming together. I really do like that, actually. That's very charming. So up to 3 different summon monsters are available. And obviously, there are 5 monsters left that we haven't seen yet. So this is a nice bulky cast of summonable hero friends.
Yes.
Which I really appreciate.
I did look up who the other hero friends are because I know you really wanted to see Gyron, and I kept telling you that is a different franchise.
And I still don't believe you. It just,
it's a really different studio.
How could it possibly be? You can select units like Anguirus and Rodan to place on the stage. So here's the monsters as enemies. Here's the more standard enemies as enemies. Actually, still a fair number of enemies to encounter, even though, obviously everything has got 4 colors of variants. There's still several types of enemies we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so this seems pretty straightforward. I would say the 2 things I would like
X turns later will be born. That's a cute way to word that.
Yeah. I think the thing I would like is for them to actually have information about how the enemies move, so that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that's vital information for designing a puzzle like this, right? And also for playing puzzles like this. The other thing is, I will say, if someone wants to make a Gamera game, do that. I will make her play it on the channel. I'll be insufferable. If you think I'm a Godzilla fan, no. No, Gamera is my jam.
Your Jamera?
Yes, Gamera is my jammer.
Look at all these little mush cargos. Who could possibly stop them? Is it Godzilla? No, I don't think so. This is too many.
It is too many, yeah.
Yeah, it really doesn't give you any idea of how they will behave, that is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
We did it. Do I get to, is it trivial to change the amount of health they have? Because they don't always just have one health, right?
You know, I'm not
Is
sure.
it when I'm in enemy mode?
Or the two different kinds of monster.
Oh, it's the different colors are actually meaningfully different. I thought they were just colors, but it's the different HP levels.
Okay.
So the red ones always have 1 HP. I did not notice that is consistent across all enemy types. The red, the brown, the green, and the blue have 1, 2, 3, and 4 health respectively, and I did not put that together until just now. I've just been looking at every enemy individually. Well, good on them for having a UI that makes it so that I can do that and not even notice that I'm doing it. But yeah, anyway, honestly, pretty full featured here. It would be really nice to be able to see AI intents in this mode so that you can, you're going to have to get there through trial and error right now, which is if you're trying to construct a level that has a relatively complex set of enemy moves to reinforce a certain logical solution, right now that's going to be maybe a little bit of a tedious task.
Yeah.
That's a shame. But aside from that, I think this is rad. They really man, this game's great. I'm very, very pleased that we took the time to check this out. But I think that is going to be it for us for today and for the foreseeable future for Godzilla Voxel Wars. Please do register your feelings about more Godzillas, Voxel or otherwise. Listen, you say whatever you want to say about Godzilla down there in those comment boxes. Amabel's going to read every word of it.
Oh, I will. Yes.
And when you come back next time, we take our first step into the last of the Real Thief games because I don't recognize the 2014 one as being canon. And we'll see you then.
Bye.